Okay, class, I wanted to just go over, this is problem 5.4a in the textbook. I wanted to go over this. I'm not going to be in class today, so I wanted to make sure that you guys had a good review again for the test tomorrow. All right, so the supplies, the trial balance is done for us already. Again, that's just simply listing the debits and the credits. That will be, the trial balance will be given to you for the test tomorrow, so you basically just got to write that in. And then get on with the adjustments. All right, so the adjustments for this period, they give us supplies balance on January 31st was 1,600. So remember, if they give you the balance at the end of the month, then that's what goes in the adjusted trial balance. Okay, that is not the adjustment. That's how many supplies that you have left at the end of the month. All right, so what you had at the beginning of the month minus what you had at the end of the month is going to be your adjustment. All right, so let's just do 9750, and that would be minus 1600 is going to give me 8150. All right, so that is going to be my adjustment. So I'm going to credit supplies. That's going to be adjustment A, 8150. And if I credit supplies, then I have to make sure I have a debit, and my debit is going to be supplies expense. I'm going to write in A, 8150. All right. Adjustment number 2 on 5.4a said the prepaid advertising contract was signed on January 1st, 2019 and covers a 4-month period. All right, covers a 4-month period. So if I take a look at the prepaid advertising, $12,400 for 4 months. All right, so I'm just going to take that amount, divide that by 4, and I know that every month $3,100 is going to be expired for prepaid advertising, meaning that's what I'm going to use each month for 4 months. So my adjustment is going to be that. So I'm going to go B for the adjustment, $3,100 of prepaid advertising. All right, then my debit goes to advertising expense. That's adjustment B for 3,100. Okay, simple enough on that one. And the next adjustment is rent of 2,100 expired during the month. So in this particular example, it's just giving us the amount that expired during the month. We don't have to do any math here because this is the adjustment. So $2,100 of prepaid rent expired, so I'm going to go to prepaid rent, C, and make that adjustment C. 2,100 is going to be my credit to prepaid rent. That means that's how much is being used during the month. And then I'm going to go to rent expense, and that of course will be my debit, $2,100. Okay, so almost done with the adjustments now. The last one reads, depreciation is computed using the straight line method. The equipment has an estimated useful life of 10 years with no salvage value. All right, so in order to find out the depreciation, I have to look at the equipment, 33,600, and I know that there's no salvage value, so it's going to be it's going to be 33,600 divided by 10 years that we're going to use it, 3360, and then divide it by 12 to get my monthly adjustment of $280. All right, so again, I took the equipment, 33,600, divided that by 10, and then divided it by 12 to get $280. So remember, do not credit equipment. You have to debit the accumulated depreciation equipment. And then the debit, of course, goes to depreciation expense, which I made a mistake here. This should be crisscrossed there. Sorry. So the depreciation expense is 280. That should have gone there, and the rent should have gone there. But that's okay. I'll just make the arrows there, and that'll be good enough. All right. So what we'll do is we'll total up the adjustments and add up the column. So we have 280 plus 3,100 plus 2,100 plus 8,150 on the supplies adjustment should equal 13,630. All right, let me just do both of them. 8,150 plus 3,100 plus 2,100 plus 280 equals 13,630. All right, and so I'll rule that and move on to the adjusted trial balance. Okay, so the next step in this whole process is going to be just to move everything over to the adjusted trial balance. So I'm going to go ahead and move cash over since cash was not adjusted. It just goes there. The accounts receivable was not adjusted. Now supplies 9750 minus the credit of 8150 equals 1600. All right, for the prepaid advertising, 12,400 minus the 3,100 equals 9,300. So 9,300 and 25,200 minus 2,100. 23,100. Equipment, just move equipment over. Remember, we cannot credit equipment, so we're just going to move the credit for accumulated depreciation over to the credit column. All right, then we start with our liabilities. Our capital drawing, again, is a debit balance, so we'll put that in the debit column. Fees income is the credit. And then we start with our expenses. All right, so we have a debit for advertising expense, 3,100, 2,100, 280, 10,700, 1,900. And then supplies expense 8150. All right, so we'll go ahead and add up these two columns. Do this real quick here. 36,500 plus 13. Am I missing something there? All right, so I got 148,830. Let's just make sure that that balances by adding the other side. think I forgot to add in the 3100. Let's just see if that. Okay, so sorry, I forgot to put 16,550 here, so that's why my numbers were off. But the numbers for the adjusted trial balance should be 15,930, adding those two columns up. Okay, again, there's the answer if you need to look at it. This should have been 16,550. I just forgot to carry the 5 over there. That's why it pays to be careful when you are doing this. Just go slow. And if you're not getting the balance, just double check and make sure that you brought the right numbers over to there. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's go ahead and finish this up by making the income statement first. So start with fees income. Remember everything from fees income down. And if you want to put a little line there, just to make sure that you're doing it right, everything from fees income down is going to be on the income statement. All right. So basically, just moving everything over here. On the income statement side, the revenue will go first, 74,100, and then I'm just going to list my expenses: 3,100, 2,100, 280, 10,700, 1,900, and 8,150. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and find out my net income. I'm going to bring this down, 74,100. And then minus all my expenses should give me my net income. All right, so let's just add up all the expenses. 3,100 plus 280 Okay, so 26,230 for my total expenses, and then I'm just going to subtract 74,100 minus 26,230, and that's going to give me my net income of $47,870. Okay, and then I'll bring this down, 74,100. Add these two up. Okay, and so that's the income statement. All right, so once you get that done, this is the last part of it, is creating your balance sheet. And it's as simple as just going, all the accounts that are above revenue will become your balance sheet. All right, so all of your assets first, cash, 36,500. Bring over accounts receivable. My supplies balance is now 1,600. Prepaid advertising is now 9,300. 23,100. 33,600 for the equipment. Now remember, accumulated depreciation is now a credit. 16,550 for the accounts payable. Capital, 61,000. And drawing is going to be a debit balance of 8,000. Okay, and that's where I stop. All right, everything below that is for the income statement, so I can go ahead and add up my columns here. Remember, these two columns should not balance, just like the income statement. So I got 77,830 here. All right, now my debit side. It's going to bring me to 125,700. Okay. All right. And then I take net income and I move it over to my credit column because this is going to add to equity. So I credit. All right. And let's see if this balances here. 77,830 plus 47,870 equals 125,700. Okay, so I'm good. Okay, and that's how we finish up the worksheet. Okay, so here's your answer to the worksheet. I'll leave that up there for a couple seconds so you can check everything you did. And the key is to completing the worksheet on the test tomorrow is just go slow. You can see I forgot to bring that number over because I was rushing a little bit. And it cost me, I just had to go back and figure out what I did wrong, and it only took me a couple minutes to figure it out, but still it's just an error that's commonly made on this, so just go slow and everything should be fine. All right, be accurate with your numbers when you're punching them in, and you should be accurate. Okay, so there's this is problem 5-4A in your textbook, and that was given to you on Friday before we left, and it was an optional assignment. But this would be a good video to watch tonight and do this problem together with the video. You can pause it, before I show you the trial balance. Pause it and then do the adjustments yourself, and then go and watch the video and see if you did them right. And then pause it again. Go ahead and watch the adjusted trial balance. Pause it. Do the income statement. Pause it. Do the balance sheet. Pause it. Okay. Test will be tomorrow. You'll be given a trial balance and a few adjustments, and then the rest is yours. All right. You just have to finish the worksheet. We will see you in class on Tuesday. Watch this video during class and in the evening to review. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.